Happy New Year's Eve. Hello, my name is Kim O'Neill, and it's been a while since we've done one of these videos, hasn't it been? Today is December 31st, 2019, and I am going to read to you an excerpt from Radical Mindfulness by Daniel Gutierrez. I'm probably going to actually read a few excerpts because I recently read this book and so many things are just so good. And especially as I was coming to do this video, just different pages were like, oh, this wants to be shared, that wants to be shared. So feel free to say hello while you're here. When we're done with this, I am going to go ahead and pull a few cards just as inspiration, maybe give you a little message. Hey, Lily, good to see you. And so let me know in the comments if you'd like me to pull a card or two for you. But we're going to go ahead and get started with an excerpt from Radical Mindfulness. So when I do this, I always just hold the book for a few seconds and I say, please guide me to what message wants to be shared today for everybody who sees this video. And I got the number 37 and my eyes were closed and I randomly opened up and I actually opened to page 38 and I was blown away by that. So I'm going to read to you a story that is on page 38. But when I turned back just to see what was on page 37, there's actually a very key couple sentences that I highlighted and absolutely want to share that with you as well. So I'm going to start with what's on page 37. So page 37 and Radical Mindfulness. Are you living the truth of who you say you are? If you know your truth, stand in it. Never forget to stand in your truth. I'm going to leave that there and move on to page 38. Let me know if any of this resonates with you. I'll of course, add my comments when we're done. So then moving on to page 38, there's actually a story on this one page and it ends on the next page. And it all comes down to a really wonderful summary at the very end of it. So the condor feather. On my trip back to Texas for her funeral, so Daniel's talking about his mother's funeral. On my trip back to Texas for her funeral, I carried a feather. This was no ordinary feather. It had been gifted to me by an 80-year-old condor, my spirit guide in Peru. The condor is a sacred animal of Peru. I knew my mother needed to have this feather for her journey to the afterlife to be complete. I did not tell any of my family when I would arrive or where I would go when I got there. I wanted to see my mother alone, without any distractions, without anyone else there. I walked slowly up to her casket and looked in. She looked as beautiful as I had always remembered her. My heart leaped with joy when I saw the crystal in her hand. He left that for her by her bedside. I gently kissed her forehead and placed the condor feather between her hands on top of her chest. I could feel her presence and hear her say to me, "Well done, Danny boy." The day after the funeral, my family got together for a final meal before I left to return to California. After dinner, they all decided to go back to the grave to visit my mom, but I had no need for that. Mother was very much with me. Our souls had connected. Her presence was with me. She was encouraging me to spend time alone, taking in the experiences and lessons of her transition. She even nudged me to go to Fort Worth, Texas, to look for the hat I had been looking for. So we did, she and I. And in those first days after her transition, I discovered that the longest distance I would need to travel to be with her was the distance from my head to my heart. And so this book, I have one more excerpt I'm going to read, but if you're interested in this book, I absolutely recommend it. It's, let's see, page 82. Okay, so let me just show you. This is actually it's a pretty small book. The bulk of it is less than 100 pages, 98 pages. And the first half of it is, a lot of, I would say, heartwarming and moving stories that Daniel tells with such simplicity. So none of it's complicated or hard to get. The first half of it is him telling his stories that led to his radical mindfulness experience, which is actually the part that happens before what I just read to you. So it's the story about what happened when he was at his grandmother's bedside. Like, it's amazing. And then the second half of the book is him actually giving practical tips for being more mindful, and specifically what he calls radically mindful. He talks about mindfulness simply being awareness, but radical mindfulness is a consistent awareness and continually bringing yourself back into that present moment. Anytime your mind wanders somewhere else, bringing yourself back to the present moment, the present moment. And what he explains in here is how by doing that for himself, it actually created the space for him to have this just like amazing experience with his mom as she was, in the hospital, just a few days away from transitioning, from dying. And so, anyway, so it's a fantastic book. I read this on a plane ride home after, the Christmas holiday with family. I was flying back home on Sunday. I read it just on the plane. It was fantastic. So let me read to you one more excerpt. It's on page 82. Okay, 82. Unconditional acceptance requires that we accept things as they are, not as we would like them to be. It asks us to release the resistance against all that is and all that is outside of our control to free ourselves from our own discomfort. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Take that in. If you want to close your eyes, feel free to do so. Unconditional acceptance requires that we accept things as they are, not as we would like them to be. It asks us to release the resistance against all that is and all that is outside of our control to free ourselves from our own discomfort. So just to say a few words on that, that's essentially talking about how we never have control over anything that's outside of ourselves. We always only have control over ourselves. And of course, we absolutely can manifest the things that we desire and, align with the feelings and, get the vision and take actions that are going to help us create and connect with the things that we want to see manifest in our life. Absolutely. That is where you have personal power. You do have control over that piece of things. And yet there's always still going to be that piece that you don't have control over. And that's what other people choose to do. And that's, when we think one thing is falling apart, it could be, actually very much because something better is coming together. And so when we allow ourselves to accept what is and just go, oh, okay, I didn't accept that, right? Or I didn't feel ready for that. Or, oh my goodness, why did that other person do that thing? And that hurt. And just those things that happen that confuse us, maybe baffle us. We don't understand. Acceptance is not agreement. And so if this isn't, I hope this message is in support of you in some way. And so if you're in a space where, as you're closing out your 2019, if there's a part of you that's feeling like, you really want to feel like you're moving into a new year, but maybe you're somehow feeling like you quite can't get there, or, it doesn't really feel like you're there yet, then you might want to just look to see, in what way are you maybe holding on or clinging to something from the past, whether it be yesterday or maybe it be, January of 2019, right? Maybe it be something that happened a decade ago. In what way can you just allow yourself to go, okay, maybe I don't agree with that, but it happened. It happened. And I choose to learn from that. And, just sit with yourself and maybe even have compassion with yourself for any pieces of that experience that were painful or challenging. It's, acceptance isn't you saying that it wasn't challenging. Accepting isn't you saying that you condone someone else's behavior or any of that. It's simply, it's like forgiveness. You may have heard this before. I've probably said this before myself. It's really a gift you give yourself. Forgiveness and acceptance. It's a gift you can give yourself to really help you be in the present moment and operating from this place, so that you can move forward. The more stuff we're holding on to from our past, it's going to be a lot harder to step into that new day, to move forward, to feel freer, to be able to have more joy and excitement for what's to come in 2020, 2021, the second after this video is over. So, and again, let's just bring it back to that space of compassion for yourself. If there's any part of you that's thinking, yeah, I've tried that before and I haven't been able to, then maybe right now is simply just a moment for you to, I keep doing this and I don't want to like cover my microphone, but just, put your hand on your heart, your feet flat on the ground, other hand on your abdomen even. Just take some slow, deep breaths and just allow yourself to come into this present moment, acknowledging yourself for what you've gone through. And actually, as I'm saying this stuff, I'm remembering these are also the things that Daniel talked about in this book. And that's, I think, probably also why I just love this so much. I interviewed Daniel, actually. If you want to, I would suggest this. If you're interested in this and, maybe you can't buy the book right now or you don't want to buy the book right now. I interviewed him earlier this year in 2019. I think it was around March or April of 2019. Look here on YouTube in the Every Day is a New Day video section, and you'll find the recording of the interview I did with him, because he actually tells the story of what happened when he was at his mother's bedside. And you'll get a feel for what I'm talking about, because what I absolutely love about Daniel and this message is he's someone, and he acknowledges this in the book too, he's someone who literally used to be a White House advisor. He's had success in the big corporate business type of way. And he literally left it all to go be this medicine man living in Peru, connecting with nature and in turn, helping people to connect deeper with themselves. And he shares his really fascinating experiences that I keep alluding to. And as he gives the tips and tools for how you can be radically mindful, none of it is rocket science. In fact, one of his chapters in here is it's not rocket science. So I just love that piece too, because we can think, someone working in the White House and doing all these major things like, wow, it's so big, right? Like, I can't relate to that. You can relate. I promise you. So, anyway, so this book is fantastic. Radical Mindfulness, Profound Inner Peace in as Little as 60 Seconds by Daniel Gutierrez. A wonderful book. And so I just want to leave you with that. As far as the book goes, let's get into pulling a few cards. I'm going to go ahead and pull a few cards to go along with this message. If you want me to pull you a card, let me know, for inspiration, for maybe confirmation, for whatever's happening in your world right now. And so I'll go ahead and move into that. And let's see here, what card? You know what? I'm going to pull from the self-care deck. Self-care cards. I hope you're having a fantastic New Year's Eve. Okay, just going to do a little light shuffling here. And if you'd like to connect with me after this video, of course, you can always subscribe to this channel if you aren't already. But you can also join the Every Day is a New Day Facebook group over on Facebook. And there's a link to that in the bottom of this video. Okay, let's see what self-care card wants to come out. Oh, I see Lily. Okay, I will pull a card for you as well. There we go. Let's see what this one was. Oh, I love it. Playfulness. Playfulness. Play with a child. Children are your greatest teachers. Oh my goodness, I wholeheartedly agree. I just came back from spending time with family and my 2 nephews and my niece, 3 cats, a dog, and then of course my, brother and sister and my second mother, and just such a wonderful time. But with children, absolutely. They help bring out that lighter side in you. They help you maybe even understand yourself better in terms of seeing what's happening with them and how you can, be a messenger and teacher, guide, or just friend for them, but also see how what they're dealing with, maybe there was a time in your life when you had similar experiences and you can see how things have unfolded for you in your life. And through seeing it in someone else's eyes at a younger age even, I think can be not only insightful, but have therapeutic qualities. If there are things within you that you, are maybe working through or looking to release and be more okay with, I hope that's making sense. I certainly find that I have found that. So let's pull another one. Let's pull another self-care card. Or let's see if another self-care card wants to come out. I think this one. What is this? Nature. Yeah. It says, take a walk. Let the beauty of nature feed your soul. Yes, yes, yes. I've been doing a lot of this lately. Wonderful. And Lillian, I'm going to pull one specifically for you. So let's see what self-care card wants to come out for Lily. Oh, there we go. Ooh, choice. It says, reconsider a commitment. You have the right to change your mind. Absolutely. Absolutely. Lily, let me know if this resonates for you in any way. Let's move on to another deck. See what else wants to come out right now. Where did the box go for this? I don't know. I'll find it when we're done. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to pull guidance from your angels. See what angel message wants to come through. It does resonate. Good, Lily. I'm glad to hear that. Good, good, good. Let's see here. There we go. Did you see that? Actually, 3 came out, so I guess maybe that's the number today. Okay, notice the signs. We've got notice the signs. I'll read the rest of this, but let's see first. We've also got shower of abundance. Hello. I think we all want a little shower of abundance. How about, right? Opportunity to forgive. Opportunity to forgive. So, okay. So notice the signs. Yes, the signs you've been receiving are heaven sent. We drop feathers, coins, and other signs upon your path to remind you that you're loved and never alone. I want to acknowledge that the first excerpt that popped out when I was reading, or at least looking for the right page to read, was all about the condor feather in radical forgiveness. So we've got a little synchronicity going on there. Okay. Shower of abundance. To heal your financial situation, first give us your worries concerning money. We will guide you in order to show you how to create and accept abundance. As we work together, your financial situation will heal as fast as you'll allow. Love that. I love that card. And then opportunity to forgive. It says, this situation brings the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies, and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion. So, however this resonates with you, New Year's Eve, I mean, we can always make new choices literally every second of our life, every millisecond of our life, right? Every day. We don't need to have New Year's Eve in order to decide, now's the time I'm going to go ahead and make a new choice, a new decision. Now's the time I'm going to release the past. Now's the time I'm going to choose to forgive. But knowing that we are at the end of a year, and specifically at the end of a decade, such a pivotal time for every single person alive, and absolutely you as well. And so if this is resonating with you in any way, if there's someone on your mind, on your heart, that you would like to take time now to forgive, here's the thing. You don't even necessarily have to, this doesn't mean you need to specifically reach out to that person and tell them you forgive them. Maybe that would apply to your situation, but maybe not. You don't need to connect with the other person in order to forgive them. This can be done all on your own, silently, just connecting with that energy, mindfully choosing to say, you know what, I choose to release that, whatever that is, that anger, that hurt, that frustration. And I'm going to choose to forgive. I choose to forgive because I love myself. And I choose to open the door for me to receive more love, more shower of abundance. Because anytime we're hanging on to something, we're kind of like blocking new stuff from coming in. So forgiveness is really, really good. 3 years ago, I was driving to a conference, and it was like a 3-hour drive, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to take some time. I just felt like, you know what, it would benefit me to spend some more time forgiving some people and situations in my life. And so I did that, and I just really got into it. And I was feeling so amazing. You know, I even shed a few tears because I just really felt I was opening up this space. And I'd also set some intentions for things I wanted to manifest while I was at the conference. I kid you not. I did all of that simply while I was driving. The very first person I connected with at the conference was a key piece of me manifesting one of the intentions I had also just set while I was in that car ride. So everything is always possible. And it's, you know, so just wanted to share that, you know, if this is resonating with you, it's not anything that has to be elaborate. You can do it all on your own, but you can also, if you feel you need some guidance or support with forgiveness, you know, you can seek out a coach, someone that you trust. You might maybe just simply journaling. Journaling can be a form of release and getting things out as well. So, okay, so that is cards from that angel deck. And I'm going to go ahead and pull cards from another angel deck. I don't think I've pulled any cards from this deck here on YouTube yet. And they don't have a box, so I'm pulling them out of a bag. Give me a second. Okay, so these are, okay. So you may have seen me do a video a few months ago on Walking with Your Angels. It's a book written by Keith Leon S. And he actually has a card deck that goes with it. And let me show you what these cards look like. They're so gorgeous. I absolutely love them. So anyway, okay, so let's pull an angel card from this deck. Lillian, I'm going to pull you one from this deck as well. So let's get one for everybody who views this video first. These cards are slippery, by the way. There we go. Okay. So beautiful. We got Archangel Ariel. And it says, focusing on Mother Earth's elements, animals, and plants will bring a soft and compassionate energy into your being. If you'd like to commune with me and If you'd like to commune with me and invite me to walk by your side, you may wish to burn a pink or rainbow candle while you make the invitation. These colors bring forth the essence of unconditional love. Beautiful. So once again, we have nature. And we've got focusing on Mother Earth's elements, animals, and plants will bring a soft and compassionate energy. And then they're talking about you may wish to burn a pink or rainbow candle while you make the invitation. Pink, such as, I know you can't really tell, this looks like it's white or clear. It's actually a very, very, very soft pink. That is rose crystal. Yeah, did I say that right? Rose crystal? Rose quartz, thank you, rose quartz. And pink is the color of universal love energy, and is a fantastic stone or color or just energy simply to connect with. And you can simply just do that by your intention. You know, I want to connect with the energy of rose quartz, of pink universal love energy, and take a moment right now to have greater compassion for myself and forgive blah, 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 right? Whatever relates for you. So that is a beautiful message right there. Lily, let me go ahead and pull you a card from this deck as well. Oh, and then I actually need to get going soon. I just realized the time. Okay, let's see here. What card wants to come out for Lily today? cards are slippery. Hold on. Whew. Card wants to come out for Lily. Okay. What card wants to come out for Lily? Okay, I'm just going to pull a card. Okay. Let's see which one I got. Okay, beautiful. I love the artwork on these. Archangel Anael. It says, unconditional love and sex are part of why you have chosen to come to this planet. Sex is a desire to create true connection with another. The feeling of love is a byproduct of true connection. True unconditional love for another is only achievable once you've learned to love yourself in every way. Absolutely. So, I always, so Lily, feel free to let me know if this resonates with you or not. Either way, this is clearly the card that wanted to come out today. And what I always say about the cards is it's not necessarily, sometimes it's the heart of like this deeper message that they have. Other times it could be something else within the card. So if in any way this is not feeling like the specific message for you, you might even just want to look at the picture, at the color. It's so weird. Okay, on YouTube it looks purple. It's not purple. This is pink. This is pink. You can kind of see it that way. Anyway, okay, so unconditional love. Once again, here we are. We were talking about universal love, unconditional love, the pink quartz. I'm seeing the theme of love, nature, flow, and forgiveness may be a fantastic door to open up so you can allow yourself to receive more of that love and flow and ultimately receive a shower of abundance. This playfulness is also a fantastic way to open up more pathways and to be able to step into more of that abundance. So yeah, we've got the messages of nature, playfulness, love, pink. Notice the signs. Notice the signs. I want to highlight that. Notice the signs. So this was saying, yes, the signs you've been receiving are heaven sent. We drop feathers, coins, and other signs upon your path to remind you that you're loved and never alone. And when I first started opening up to noticing signs several years ago now, there was so much doubt, trying to rationalize, well, oh, come on, that's just a dirty little feather. or someone just dropped a penny over there. That doesn't really, that doesn't really mean anything. Everything is possible, but the signs, what I have learned over the years is the signs aren't going to have like a little halo over them saying, we're your sign. It's going to be those super subtle. There are some signs that are just like, oh my gosh, so blatant obvious, but there are lots and lots of other signs that are super subtle and super simple. And those are the whispers of, whoever you connect with, God, angels, spirit guides, the universe, whatever term you want to use. So often they come in those little subtle whispers. And what I have found is learning to tap into, is this my sign or not? And just be open to it has supported me in being able to develop more of my intuition and to know if something is a sign or not a sign. And actually more often than not, for me, it has been, but not always. There's sometimes I'm like, no, that's not a sign for me. And other times it's like, oh, thank you. Thank you for those little reminders that I'm not alone. So been hearing lots of birds chirping. Awesome. Well, that right there, feathers, nature, singing, by hearing that, hearing lots of birds chirping a lot, it makes me think about, what do you call that? Like sound healing. I don't know if you're into any of that or have ever checked any of that out, but just different sound frequencies, so that how those can also support us in getting into the flow and being in that space of, just aligning with the truth. When I say the truth, to me, it's always when we're aligned with the highest and best of ourselves. And when there are, people or situations to forgive, those can actually get in the way of us connecting with the truth of what's really available and possible for us. So I need to get going. I am going to pull one more card for you, and we're going to pull an inner peace card. Oh, Lily, I didn't know that. I'm sorry to hear that, Lily. This book, you may want to check this out. Daniel's story, or watch the interview that I did with Daniel if you haven't already seen that, because he talks about his story, with his mom passing. It was very moving. And it wasn't too deep. I mean, it's deep, but it wasn't like too deep, Like some stories might be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to read a tearjerker. Well, I got a little emotional, but it wasn't like this, long drawn out thing. It was just right. Such great simplicity and meaning and depth in that book. So, okay, card popped out. What do we have here? My destiny is mine to control. The back says, when you acquire enough inner peace and feel really positive about yourself, it's almost impossible for you to be controlled and manipulated by anybody else. I love that. I love that. Kyle Cease, he's definitely someone to check out too if you like, connecting with more people that resonate, have inspirational messages and all of that. But anyway, I just want to say that, as I just said, and I love that, that is a phrase that he often uses, and I just want to share it with you. Anything that's going on in your life that may not make sense, deep down inside, we know that there's something to be gained from it. It may not feel good. It may not be something we actually want to deal with or look at or anything whatsoever. But again, the more that we can get to that space of just accepting what is, what's already happened, so that we actually can take more control of what direction we're going to head in next, that's going to serve us most. And so with that said, any situation that's going on at all, this awful thing happened in my life, and I love that. And all you're simply doing when you add that phrase, and I love that, is you are allowing more love, which is really a softer, high vibrational energy, to be infused into the situation, generate more ease for yourself, so that you can get to that space of whether it be forgiveness or having more of a clear mind and heart and knowing what direction to move in next. So you believe that, Lily? That's awesome. Great. Well, I hope you have a fantastic New Year's Eve 2019. And if you happen to be watching this on the replay and you're watching some other day, wherever you are, know that you can still connect with the energy of, maybe it's time for you to make a decision to close out one chapter of your life and open the door for the next. I remember when I was on a cruise back in 2006, and that was like May or June, and they had a New Year's Eve party. And so there we were in the middle of the year celebrating New Year's Eve. And it was just this wonderful experience. Again, connecting back with at any time we can allow ourselves to step into that energy and say, I release this and I say yes to this at any time. So anytime you watch the replay of this video, I hope that you feel supported in opening up whatever new doors you wish to, releasing whatever you want to let go of, and know that you always are loved and supported and even being guided and with little messages and confirmations from the universe. And I hope you have a fantastic new year. I'll see you in 2020. Bye.